Welcome to ExecuWitch. I am your host, Luna Noir, and I am accompanied by the illustrious
Crimson Fox.
Welcome. So, it's been a while since we have done a video together, or just a video on YouTube.
Yep, that's true.
Been doing a lot of research. We can say we're, just like everyone else who starts off and trying to go into social media and creating content, most people don't know what the hell we're doing. And that is us.
Yep, us.
So we've been trying to learn and to see how, to build our community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, if you hear any panting, it's because Katara Sasuri is here, and she's panting because she's like, I'm so excited. We got 181 subscribers to our TikTok account. We have
135 on Instagram right now.
And 15 on YouTube. Yay! And come on, I am so excited. I know I heard someone talking about thousands and stuff, and they're like, yeah, how is it that I've been on here for a month and I only have like 2,000? And I was like, what? I was like, I'm excited about what we've done. Oops, sorry. I'm so excited about what we've done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to get to know people and interact with so many people, like from all over the country. I don't necessarily think I have any viewers from out of the country, but our reach hasn't gotten there yet, I guess. But yeah. So for today's episode, before we even start, please, Crimson Fox, tell us what delicacies we have here today.
All right, so we have some red and green grapes. We also have some rainier cherries right here. We also have some Sanders, dark chocolate, lightly salted caramels to pair with our wine. And we have our assortment of cheeses right over here, which is Swiss, Colby Jack, cheddar, and I lost it. Yay!
So the Swiss, cheddar, Colby, and I think
Monterey.
And Monterey Jack cheese. That's fine, baby. We're not really about being prepared for stuff. Not here.
No, not here.
Oops. I just hurt myself. So, this episode is basically showing my faux pas in my magic that I noticed. Probably it started about 3 weeks ago, and it's regarding the Voodoo Dolls that I created. I have a Voodoo Doll, and I'll be honest, the woman's name escapes me every time, but I'll put that, I feel like sometimes there's just certain people that disgust me so much I don't want to remember them. So I'll put her name here. But I made one here, pass me that over there. Yes. So I made one. You know who this is. This is his press secretary, and she has a little sign that says all lies, because that's all she does. And she has a little crucifix that I put in there. We have...
Isn't it Marjorie Green?
No. And Elon Musk and the state of Israel. Now, I made these, and I'll put a link in the description box below of the woman who basically I saw her TikTok and I was like, oh, that's so cool. It never dawned on me. Typically when we do poppets or voodoo dolls, oh man, we should have brought one of yours. So whenever we usually make poppets, Crimson Fox does anyways. You gonna grab that? This is one of her little creations, and it's your standard poppet. This one's for health, that's why it's in green, and this is for heart health. So this is just a little, like I said, a little example hey, this is how we typically make our voodoo dolls and puppets.
Right.
And when I saw this woman, I saw how wonderful she made the idiot in chief look, and I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. I need to make that, because I definitely wanted to create one, and I was just going to literally make one like we typically do, but I saw how she did it, and so I was like, I have to make one. So like I said, I have him here, and as I was saying, I had been having a lot of success. As soon as I made them, especially with Elon, he started it. What was it? I'm trying to remember, like all the things that I started to notice, but it just seemed like, I think within a couple of like 2 days, his contract was getting discontinued or canceled, and he just lost his. I was like, okay, he
did not compose himself.
Oh,
adequately.
And that's why he has a little black eye, because that's the thing. I made it, and then within like a day and a half, he shows up with a black eye, and I was like, ah! So that's why he looks like that.
From his youngest, no less.
Yeah, I doubt that. I think someone taught him a lesson or two of keeping your mouth shut, and he just, because no 3 or 4 year old has a right hook. Yeah. So I created these puppets, started to notice that they were getting a lot of heat, a lot of backlash.
Right.
And I went to my backyard. Here in Arizona, we get these weeds that grow in your backyard, and it's called the puncture vine. And it's this little, I'll put a picture, but it starts off like this little tuft, and then it just grows, and within this weed, there's these little spiny, prickly, like acorns that grow in there that have spikes. And whenever the dogs come in or we walk in the backyard, it carries from the bottom of your
it carries from the bottom of your shoe into the house, and sometimes it gets stuck on carpets and
and then you can't
everywhere.
See them. It's just the worst.
Yeah.
So because I don't like those so much. Is my necklace still straight?
No.
Can you fix it?
So basically what the puncture vine is, it's a type of vine that grows on the ground and it spreads rapidly. It also produces fruit that can be harmful to dogs. It's also known as the devil's plant, only because of how sharp it can be, and it's kind of painful.
It's very painful. And if you've ever, I was trying to pluck them out of the ground with my bare hands, and it makes you, obviously I got poked with it, but it felt like an infected poke right away.
Yeah, and the thing is, with this plant, it's not toxic to us, so we're not going to get any side effects from getting poked by these things. But you do have to be careful if you're like surrounded by dirt and could get infected in that aspect.
Yeah. So, as I said, I'm in the backyard. I'm plucking these out. I did finally get some leather gloves so I wouldn't get poked anymore.
Right.
So I was thinking, oh my God, I hate these so much, especially having them, get stuck on your shoes when you're trying to take them off your shoes before you get into the house. They just poke you. It's just a nuisance. So my thought was, oh, I can't stand this so much. I poked him with one of them, like right in the chest. And I was like, more baneful magic. I figure needles, thorns, things like that. It's going to help me with my voodoo doll, my baneful magic.
Right.
So, I did not, which I should have, research the plant. You hear devil and you think negativity, but this plant actually has a spirit of protective properties. So I poked this,
it's like kind of like a force field, essentially, with this plant. Especially for spiritual purposes, it is known to protecting. So when my mom did this, She didn't realize
that I was putting
a protection
over these idiots.
Yeah.
So I did notice, and I was wondering, because I was like, how is it that Israel is still on the face of the map? I couldn't figure it out.
Right.
And I noticed that when I first made the puppet, real quick, Oran did this fantastic job of inundating the Iron Dome to the point that it failed, and they were able to get a couple of missiles through. And I was like, you know what? Good. I was cheering. But then once I put this little puncture thorn in him, I think it basically protected all 4 of them. So I didn't understand what was happening, because I was like, everything's been working out. And I'll be honest, when I see that I create something and then I immediately start to see something in the news, or if it's a personal one and I start hearing, oh, well, this person all of a sudden has had a string of bad luck, I'm like, yay, my magic's working. So when I added that, I didn't realize that that was a protection, and that all the things that I was hoping for were not happening. Right. So I basically was in the backyard, and then I called Crimson and I was like, hey, can you tell me all the magical properties of the puncture plant and the puncture vine? And she went and she was like, oh, protective this, protective that, and such and so, and wards off. And I was like, ugh. So as soon as she said that, I hightailed it up to my bathroom, because that's where I typically put this. And I was basically like, oh yeah, this is one of those faux pas. So I took the little thorn out and I checked it into the toilet and flushed it. I was like, go away, because I don't want protection for these idiots.
Not at all.
So as soon as I did that, it was like all of a sudden there was some breaking news, and I was like, what's going on? And the breaking news was regarding how many people were going against him with that big, beautiful piece of that's been signed. And then I was like, and how people were getting outraged about it. And then there was just more, it was like there was just more energy that with people getting upset with the fact of how ICE is out there doing this and that and the other, and how ICE is starting to get scared because, they're leaving these jobs in droves because now they're getting doxxed and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God I got rid of that little thorn. So with my magic, I'm not the type to bring forward my magic as a, hey, let me get some views with my magic. I might show you, oh, I'm creating something, and because I hope to, just like that woman inspired me to make one of these, I hope to inspire others to get into their magical practices. And when so but I know you just keep doing that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, my mind, the Sanders chocolate got to me. It's like I couldn't talk for a second.
And I'm not trying to brag, but I know the people who own that company, and I wouldn't mind a brand deal. No, I shouldn't eat them, but I will. But anyway, so as far as my magic is, I don't typically put my magic out there and bring it to people to critique or to, it's not, for me, it's magic, it's real. So I won't put that kind of
you won't
content.
Yeah,
I won't put that kind of content out there for people to just be a spectator and like, oh, I like it. It's like,
magic is one of those things that you don't want to joke around with, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, at least for me, because that's not who I am. But like I said, I will show someone I'm making this and do my magic in the background, because for me, my power stands, alone and with my coven. And right. So we so yeah, so as soon as I took that little thorn off of that idiot, all of a sudden things just started. The Epstein file thing is blowing up everywhere. And like I said, and I know there's so many people putting energy towards, you know, the downfall of this administration,
right.
And I'm loving it. And I do think that everyone's magic is valid. And, you know, even if you do it for likes and things like that, that's fine. But as far as myself, whenever I do my magic and I put out my spells, be it, you know, benevolent magic or baneful magic, I know it works, but it's because I keep it between me and my pantheon of deities. So I just wanted to bring that information up because it's important. You know, sometimes you think you're doing something good or you think you're doing something bad for a good reason, and then all of a sudden it turns out you're actually helping someone bad like succeed, because I wondered how the heck did that big beautiful bill pass. I really was like, how the hell is that happening?
Right.
And now, especially with the situation happening with like in Texas. Oh my God. Yeah. The things that are happening in Texas. Like, I'm serious. Like, I have friends who live out there, and thankfully, as of right now, I don't think anything has happened. I don't think it's happening in their location. However, seeing all that destruction in like those campers, those little girls and stuff like that, like, I don't even know, do they find any of them? It's like the news is coming in so hard and fast that there's just not enough information to keep you up to date on everyone who they know is missing.
Exactly.
And the fact that it's over 100 people, and the fact that this could have been prevented. We used to have a system in place that was obvious to anyone with half a brain that it worked. You warn people to get out. Most times whenever rain systems and inclement weather is coming through, you typically get maybe in about 3 or 4 days, it looks like it's going to be heavy downpour. Please be prepared. Have your food. Like, even when we lived in Maui, whenever they show this is coming, I was like, okay, everyone make sure you pack a bag just in case we have to flee up country, and make sure we have the kennels ready for the pets, and, you know, don't forget to take this bag or whatever. Right. We had these systems put in place, but now it seems that this administration has just taken away those safeguards and measures that we typically, I guess we kind of took for granted, because we just assumed if it's not broke,
why fix it?
Why fix it, and why destroy it? So really interesting times, but and it's unfortunate how everything is playing out. But at the same time, because of these situations and their missteps, people are finally opening their eyes to these people are evil and trash. They do not care. When you don't even no one knows how to run FEMA. Like, come on. Like, there's certain things that we're supposed to just have. We're supposed to be the #1 country. We're not #1 in anything. In our minds, we've always told ourselves yes. But let's be honest, we've seen that we're not. And the one thing that I can say that I'm thankful for is that everyone's collective prayers and magic is starting to open people's eyes.
Right.
And they're starting to realize this administration is only about stealing all of our money, killing as many of us as possible, making sure that we don't have food, clean water, clean air. They don't care. But the one thing that I am happy about, and I'm going to make a toast to Mexico, that you brought your angels back to their own land to help people who would not help you. And it just gives me goosies that it's one of those situations that I'm proud of the Mexican government and those volunteers coming in as the guardian angels of Texas. That was once your land, and you have shown grace and a compassionate heart.
Mm-hmm. We send prayers to you and hope that you have abundant lives, and be sure that you are always protected via in unity and in magic. Salud.
That's lovely. Okay, for people to have been so disrespected, to see those people that voted for their
talking Cheeto,
that voted for him, that to go against the people who put the food onto our plates, and to treat them so horrifically, and they are the ones to come in to look for our people. That's one of those, like, wow. It's a very, you sit there and you just kind of go like, there's something wrong here, and it's not them. We can see. I'm hoping that people, not just the Epstein files should be the only thing that makes you go, oh my God, this is because they're hiding the Epstein files. I'm hoping that people start to see that the human toll that this administration has placed upon people with good hearts that will come out to help you find your living and your dead.
Let me ask this. Do you believe that the Epstein thing is another distraction to something bigger? Like, personally? Because I don't...
Everything that's been happening, it seems like one thing, it could be.
Because I personally, I know about the whole Epstein scenario thing that's happening right now, but I sometimes have to think, like, okay, they're talking about this now, but I feel like there's something bigger that they're hiding. And that's just my perspective on this whole matter. Because don't get me wrong, like, that is also important as well, because there are some political figures that are in there as well. We've already established this. But I feel like there's potentially something bigger that they're trying to hide as well.
Yeah, so distract us with something that everyone has been waiting for. I personally figured that pictures speak 1,000 words. And when you see Trump in pictures with Epstein and with little girls in the background, you don't have to be a freaking genius to go, I think he might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. Understand, I've always said this. I've always thought of myself more middle left. I used to be full left wing, not this alt left, but just left. But I can understand why some people voted for this idiot. And the only reason would be situations like if you're being told that there's people trying to destroy you with drugs and crime and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty important. We want our border secure. No one should just be in here just because.
Right.
I did not agree with how, the Biden administration it didn't seem like they were vetting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was a problem for me, especially when we were seeing so many people coming from Asia in the Middle East that we were like, and they were just coming through Mexico. And I was like, where are all these people going? That bothered me. I still voted for Harris because I was like, hopefully, maybe under her administration, she would go, well, these weren't my choices, but now these are my stances for our border. However, obviously that didn't pan out. But I've always saw myself as being middle left, because not wanting to have a bunch of people who are not vetted or who clearly are not fleeing persecution and things like that.
Right.
Because if you come here with an infant, you know, you're be it father or mom, I see that as someone we should give a shot to before just a young to middle-aged guy who's coming by themselves.
Yeah.
But the whole point is this. People who voted for him because of our borders, I get it. But people who voted for him because of all these children that have been sex trafficked, that was one of the things that really made me go, I could see why he's getting traction if he's going to go after these people. Because I don't care who you are. If you are in the market and your business is taking advantage of children or imposing your lifestyle and beliefs on children whose minds have not developed yet, you don't have my vote. Not on that. I can see why people voted for him because of the child trafficking thing and this whole Pizzagate and all these things that are happening and stuff. I totally get it. All that sort of stuff adds up. And though I just would assume that the Democrats would also want to protect children.
Right.
Now, I'll be honest. California, they do not, I do not condone their policies on how they seem to want to take away the parents' rights to protect their children. And it seems like they're more concerned with, basically, I would think it would be a harm to a child that if, just because you have a tendency to have like feminine tendencies and stuff like that, or masculine tendencies, you know, that you would be, if your parents are like, oh, that's a phase, you know, they're like, nope, we're going to take your kid away from you so that we can have, you know, they can be transitioned.
Yeah, that's not
so
fair.
I don't think that that's right. I'm completely, and I will say, I am completely fine and supportive of trans rights, LGBTQ. Totally fine. My only, and I will die on the hill and I will put the nails in myself, is if everyone understands that the mind doesn't develop fully until age 27, then because that's, just so that you know, I don't know if you've heard about this. This is jumping around a little bit, but this is how my mind works. The Menendez brothers, you know them.
Yes, of course.
Murder, mystery, and all sorts of craziness that's happening.
Yeah.
But shout out to Bailey Terry. But so I was listening to her, and they were talking about the fact that they are trying to use the fact that there's some kind of like law or something in legislation that says that the mind doesn't develop till age 27. So when they did these heinous murders, that they didn't really understand the gravitas of what they were doing. Now, if there can be a law that says, oh, you know what, at 19 and 21 or whatever, you created this, you regret doing this murder because your brain wasn't fully developed, then you can't tell me that a 4-year-old or a 12-year-old can be responsible for testing out the waters of sexuality.
Right.
Do I think that under the right tutelage and guidance of their parents and, community. Right. Yeah, let a kid understand what it means to be, actually a person who has been born with the wrong spirit in the wrong body. I totally can understand something like that. But for myself, if I was in California when I was a kid, I'd have new appendages and stuff like that because I was a tomboy. I was into football, basketball, baseball, everything, and cheerleading too. But I was into all those kind of sports. My favorite color was blue. I love playing with Hot Wheels. I used to like all sorts of boy type energy I had. I just grew up at a time where you could be a tomboy and still have a boyfriend like I did, but now I would be labeled like confused and you don't know that you're supposed to be this or that. Yeah. And I would have been like, what? And being a child, you can become impressionable. Yeah. And they should not, and I believe it, this should not be one of those times where that is allowed. Now, that being said, this goes back to the how I understand how these idiots got into their position. Yeah. Because there were some heavy bits of material out there that they were pushing that, oh, well, we're going to release these files. Oh, we're going to get rid of the drug dealers and this and this. Right. They never said, oh, we're going to get rid of the people who put the food on your plate. We're going to go after people who are actually working and contributing to the system that we get to benefit, but they don't. Right. There was such a being hoodwinked and bamboozled. Exactly. So that's why this whole thing, I understand how they got where they are. But the fact that I could see, and that's why Crimson Fox is here, because she is learning from me, my, the things that I've done right, and the faux pas, like when I put that freaking thorn in.
Yeah, the puncture vine with the criminal suite, basically.
Yes, the criminal mindset over there. And so, yeah, it's one of those things. That's why this video I feel is important, because it's a practice. It's a magical practice. It's true. And I just wanted to make sure that, I hold myself accountable, and I also let people know. Pay attention to the stuff that you're using as for your baneful magic. If all of a sudden you're noticing, hey,
good things are happening to people,
to people who don't deserve it, then it might be something as small as a pin or the wrong type of seasoning that you're using. You want to make sure that whatever you're using on your voodoo dolls is appropriate. Exactly. And I've learned that. And I am very happy to say that I feel that with all the bad stuff that's happening in the news, that people are starting to wake up. And I definitely feel really comfortable about seeing them go down. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed the poppet that I had and stuff like that. Hold on. Pass me, idiot. The main one. Yeah. I put this pin right here. This is his left side. That's why I think the aneurysm is going to happen. That's just me. I've always put it there. For years, I've seen him having an aneurysm. And if that wants to happen today, I'm cool with it. And if if he's gone sooner than he would like, that's fine. Then my next poppet would be Vance. But all these poppets represent everyone in their administration, and the MAGA people that follow. And that might also be why there's a lot of bad things happening in other places. So let's toss that girl over there. So I hope that you enjoyed this little catch up, this explanation to what to do and what not to do during your voodoo puppet magical practice. I'm teaching witches, but like at least I own my mistakes. I'll never be the person who's like, oh, I'm not going to tell people that I did something wrong. No.
Yeah.
I have to.
It's okay to make mistakes because we're human. At the same time, it becomes a problem if you keep doing it over and over again. Because at that point, you haven't learned your lesson. You will notice that the things that you want are not going to work the way you want.
Yeah. Right?
I'm sure she does.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And if you'd like to, subscribe, like, share, and turn on notifications, do all that jazz, because we have 15 strong. I'm just saying. And on our other platforms,
And we welcome all.
we do welcome all. Even if you don't understand what we're doing here as far as like magic, it's fine.
Yeah.
But please stop by again. Hopefully this is going to go out a little bit later on tonight, hopefully tomorrow. And brightest blessings from Lunar Noir.
Crimson Thoughts.
Bye.
Bye. Yay. We love her. We love each other. We're
Yay.
yeah.
Chocolate.